Today's video will be a little different. As you can see, I'm not just floating hands today, but I get a surprising number of requests to talk about my office and how I organize everything. So today I'll be giving you a tour of my office and showing you exactly how I organize stuff. So my office is out of my house and I work from home full time, so I need a space where I can work uninterrupted, and that's why I have a whole room in my house dedicated to just my office. And this is also where I journal, where I create. This is my favorite room in the house, I will admit. I like watching other people's workspace videos too, so hopefully this interests you. Okay, this is the entrance to my office. As you can see, my dogs love to hang out in here. So these are my main bookshelves here. This is where I keep all of my fiction and nonfiction books. This is where I keep my e-readers and note-taking devices. And I'm also a fan of typewriters, so this is where I keep all of my typewriters on the shelves. Another typewriter there, and then above it I have some of my mechanical keyboards. I have way more than that. I have them all in boxes. And on my shelves I also have trinkets, things I've found, things I've been gifted, things I've bought. So I'm a fan of a trinket. Those are my rocks, my Buddha right there. I've also started collecting a few figures, so I have a couple of Skull Panda ones. I've gotten rid of a lot of books. I used to have way more. I had those big Billy IKEA shelves, like 4 of them I think, and they were completely full of books, but when I moved I had to get rid of a bunch of books, and so these are the ones I kept, and I still have quite a few in a closet that aren't displayed here. But I've slowed down my book buying because 1, I don't have the space for it, and 2, I don't need all those physical books. I like to read on my e-readers, and if I really love the book, if it's like 4 or 5 stars for me, I'll buy the physical copy of it. Or if I start reading a book on my e-reader and I'm already highlighting a bunch of stuff and I want to annotate, I'll buy the physical version of it so I can annotate it physically. When I'm reading on my e-reader, I just like to fly through books. So that's my book situation. Actually, as I'm looking at more books, that's not all the books, but those are the fiction, nonfiction books. I have other reference books that I have in a separate bookshelf. I might as well show you them now, since we're already talking about books. So this down here is my other bookshelf, and this is where I like to keep all of my reference books. These are books that I like to look at when I want to be inspired. So I have lots of books from artists, art history books, even fashion inspiration books, and I also do have quite a few how to draw books. That way I can brush up on my knowledge. I have calligraphy books down there. So yeah, all of these books are ones that I use to reference when I'm making stuff or when I want to brush up on my knowledge. Okay, before I move on from bookshelves, I want to show you what's in this one right here. This is where I keep all of my fountain pen inks. And I love to keep them in here because these doors here, it prevents the sun from hitting these, and the sun over time will fade the ink or ruin the ink, so it's nice to keep these inks in darkness. But they're still easily accessible and I can just grab whatever I want here. I recently had to get these plastic risers in order to make room for more inks. Like you can see how many rows back there are. Some of them I like to keep in boxes still because I think the boxes are beautiful, especially the Tasha inks. I like to have them organized by brand too, like I have all of my Birmingham here, Diamine here, and so on. A lot of my Japanese ones or non-Western inks are up on the top here. So yeah, that's where I keep my fountain pen inks, and I still have room to grow. And my guitar here that I hardly ever play but I want to practice with. And these printers are where I make all of my stickers. Well, I use that one. I used to use this one. This was the only printer I had for a while, but it loves to suck up ink and the ink is expensive on this one. It's meant for more specialty printing. So that printer over there is the one that I use for all of my sticker making. So that's the Canon Pixma G620 and this is the Canon Pixma Pro 100. I love to keep this one around because it makes beautiful art prints and it also does really large sizes. This one I don't use as much, but that one I'm basically using all the time. And this is my printer paper right here. I have a video on how I make my stickers, a tutorial, so if you're interested, go watch that one. This setup here I don't ever show because it's for gaming, not relevant to the content that I make, but I have a gaming PC and my Switch there, and then my gaming PC tower down there. So I love to game in my free time, and this is my gaming setup. Next to my gaming setup, I have my scanner here, and then I have my cutting machine there. This scanner is the Epson Perfection V600. It does really high quality scans, and that cutting machine, I hardly ever use it, even though it's a great cutting machine. I just always love cutting with scissors, but I'm trying to change that, and so I'm going to be using that cutting machine more, especially as I start making my own stickers for sale, hopefully. But that's the cutting machine that I use. It is the Silhouette Portrait 4, I believe. And this setup over here is where I mainly work. This is where I keep journals that I'm not frequently using. And this wooden case here I found at a local antique shop. It's a Levenger case and it's a wooden one. It's really old, but it fit perfectly for my needs, for my journals. I keep my iPad right here. This is what I like to draw on digitally if I'm drawing. And this setup here, so this is my personal computer, specifically that Mac right here. This is my personal computer. The laptop underneath that is my work laptop, so that's why it's underneath there. I pull it out every day and that's what I work on. I do like to have a lot of storage too, so this is all full of mostly tech gadgets, stuff I use for computers, batteries, things like that. Okay, this corner over here, my stationery corner. These drawers here were a gift from my boyfriend, and I'm not sure where exactly, I forget the name of it. I'll have to look it up where he got them. But this is where I store all of my tools, knickknacks, stuff like that. So if you want to see inside of all of them, I do have a video going over absolutely every single thing in all of these drawers. It's the journaling tools video. But just to show you an example, keep washies in here, highlighters, stamps, sticky notes, tabs. So like all of the little random stuff that you don't know where to put, this is my solution for where to put all of that stuff. A bunch of random papers and little things in here. That way it's not cluttered on my desk and it's still easily accessible so that if I want to use it, it's right there instead of having this locked away in a closet somewhere. Which, let's not talk about what's in my closet because that's a mess. But anyway, I have journals here, I have pouches right there, all of my sticker books go right there. And you're probably curious about where I keep all of my stickers that I make, and those are in one of those. So all of the spare stickers that I make, the ones that I print out and I don't use in that journal entry, all of them go in here. So I've collected quite a bit of stickers. And also I have some other random stickers from when I've ordered things and the brand sent me a sticker, I'll put them in here too. But these are just plastic dividers, and I randomly dump stickers, and I could probably organize this much better, but yeah, lots and lots of spare stickers. Oh, this is what I'm talking about, things that I was sent. Serica Studio, Yoseka, but mostly it's stickers that I have printed myself. And that way, if when I'm journaling and I don't have anything already ready, I take a browse through here and find one that I like. And then these ones are bigger sheets instead of these half-shaped or even the quarter-shaped size like pockets. I have full sheets, that way I can get bigger stickers. So yeah, these are all the stickers that I make, and this is where I keep them all. And this was a while ago. This was when I was playing with the idea of doing sticker sheets. These were test ones. They're all bent now, but yeah, this is when I was playing with the idea of sticker sheets, so I think that's what I will be doing in the future. For the stickers that I buy, like this one is exclusively the Sticky Club monthly subscription. This is the one sticker subscription that I love. And so I used to get the pop, the vintage, and the retro, or not retro, it's cute. It's cute, pop, and vintage. I used to get all of them every month, but I quickly discovered that it was way too many stickers for my use case because I mostly made my own. And so now I just get the vintage set. And I do love Sticky Club's stickers. It's a great way to support small artists as well as a small company. This is where I keep all of my Sticky Club stickers. And occasionally I do buy from them as well, not just a subscription. I'll get sheets from them. And so this is where I keep those sticker sheets too. They do a mystery one every once in a while where you get so many for a really good price. That's how I've ended up with so many of these. And then also sticker sheets from Everyday Explorers, stickers I got from Atlas. But yeah, so this is where I keep other stickers too. So these 3 binders here are where I store all of the stickers that I use. So this is where I have my paintbrushes. This is my vintage camera. It actually does work. This is a quill that my parents got me in Italy. And then these are all storage basically. Like this one, this is where I keep all of my nibs and cartridges. So any nibs that I switch out from pens, I'll put them in here. And also cartridges that I've gotten. So this is where I keep them all. A random little assortment of nibs and ink cartridges. And also more, I think these are more like ballpoint gel pen ink cartridges in there. And then that is where I store all of my traveler's notebook inserts. So this thing right here perfectly fits. Wow, look at all that dust. Don't mind that. So this is where I store all of my traveler's notebook inserts. It fits perfectly in this vintage container that I found at a thrift store. These are all of my markers, and I have a mix of watercolor markers and alcohol markers. These are like the watercolor markers from, I think it's Winsor & Newton. These are Ohuhu alcohol markers, Copic alcohol markers, Prismacolor alcohol markers, and also more water-based ones up there, the Chromatech ones. These ones I love. They're more water-based. These are the Zig Clean color brushes. And these are all of my colored pencils. I have watercolor pencils, normal colored pencils, different brands too. Caran d'Ache. I have Prismacolor. I have Holbein. Lots of variety here. This mat is where I cut all my stickers and do all of that stuff. Okay, moving on to my journaling setup. So this is the area that you guys always see. And this frame right here is my stand for my DSLR camera, which I'm using to record right now. I kind of feel like Wizard of Oz right now because I'm giving you a peek behind the curtain and you're discovering that this is all an illusion. So this wood right here is not real wood. This is a prop for photography. So I had this IKEA desk. It's a white one, and I had that for the longest time, but I wanted some wood texture for my backdrop in my videos. And instead of buying a whole new desk, because this one works perfectly in the space, I decided to get a wood backdrop basically. And now you're never going to be able to look at my videos and photos the same way. But yeah, this is where I do all my journaling, and I have this big old window here, 2 windows actually over there too. I have these windows that give me natural light. In the wintertime when it gets dark super early, I love to use these lights here. It gives me nice warm lighting. Also, my dogs. This is his spot here, and the other one loves to chill down here. But this is where I keep my fountain pens, right next to where I journal. That way they're easily accessible. I could just reach out and take them. And I have more cases here full of them. I have other pens here in these clear organizers, and then I have more back there. So all of the pens that I love to use for journaling are within reach, but still out of frame of the camera. And then over there is where I have my acrylic markers. And actually I have a bunch of art supplies on that cart here. Oh, and before I forget, this storage right here, this is where I keep all of my notebooks, my sticker paper, my printer paper, stuff like that that goes in there. And then you can kind of see down there, this is where I have my watercolors down there. Okay, so this cart here is where I have art supplies. I have some paint palettes down there, some cups for water. I have Neo Pastel, other pastel stuff. I have more gel pens down at the bottom. So that is my whole office tour. This is where I get everything done. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know it's a little different. I'll return to normal journaling content next week, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.